Are here, and we're doing some shoulders and some biceps, a little gun show.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's here.
Come behind the ears for a bit. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, there's 3 heads to the delt, and how slow on her shrug it was contracting. Because as she gripping the weight, the length of her bicep, of how long her arm is, causes a delayed reaction. So sometimes you think a muscle's not contracting when in essence it's firing late. So I kept trying to change the angle so that it would fire on the initial movement. That's what that was. It's also why we're doing bicep and shoulder together. Stay behind. Stay behind. Yeah, keep talking, kind of Evina, because you know I'm talking like.
Got it. 1, 3.
1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Keep rep count for me.
I got 5 more.
Let's go. Then once you see how, even as she's curling, it's an anterior movement, right? It's the bicep, but look what's happening with the back, right? So her ability to stabilize her shoulder in place while she's curling is a muscle group here, which is why a great combo in the gym is always a shoulder and bicep.
Shoulder and bicep.
Yeah, it's an old school 80s thing, I guess, but still works.
Yeah.
So extension away, and pressing out sometimes. You feel the burn in the index already.
Yes.
Okay, so molasses is medicinal.
Yeah.
Okay, on many levels. So there are some sugar companies that use food coloring. You might read the box on the bag, whatever. But molasses makes the sugar work longer in the system by carrying antioxidants throughout the system. So those sugars aren't necessarily stored bad for you. They're vehicles for what's good in the molasses. Same thing with honey. So I have a diabetic, John, so the diabetic, my sugar jumped up 1,000,000 whatever points because I put my honey on my toast. Well, yeah, but what that sugar is doing in the body for her does not affect her diabetes. So it helps. So some people are downing sugar in general as a bad thing, when everything in the body functions off of sugar. The main power for your brain, we talked about this months ago, years ago, is sugar. So we had to cut the sugar talk and say what kind is it, what is it with, what are you combining it with. I've even told you as a future competitor, we never eat our carbohydrates without what? The protein there, because that's the vehicle. Amino acids and those sugars are working side by side doing jobs. So that's it's not storing there causing harm. It's a vehicle. Right?
I see. What's great about bodybuilding, like people think they're like, oh yeah, lift heavy, get strong. And the problem is that only people work out the mirror muscles, right? Everybody wants to work out biceps, you know, chest, abs, quadriceps. Most guys don't even work out quadriceps or legs, but to actually work out from all planes of motion is a beauty of bodybuilding that's long forgotten.
When bodybuilding was originated in its true form, that was part of the culture. It was so detailed. It's super cool.
like I tell you, like the guys especially, they could not go back in time right now and even make it the first round.
Oh, for sure.
70s, 60s.
Really? Wow.
It's a very different dynamic too. Like everything's changed. Like what's required, which is it's fine. That's evolution of anything, you know. You talked about entropy. It's just something dies and something else replaces it. It's always.
It's amazing what parts of science and achieving have expression. Right? So topic value affects everything. People don't want to have a conversation about the body, about food. They apply it to everything else. Space, you know, aerospace, you know, research. They never talk about the human body and the effects of entropy on the human body.
I just heard a TED talk. About entropy and how like the thermodynamics, like it's one of the thermodynamics. Second law of thermodynamics, and how like they're actually starting to look at it from a humanistic perspective, and it's super cool.
We're having the same talk yesterday.
Super cool. I'm like, yes. I don't know. The evolution of thinking is even better. How working out affects your posing.
Your posing?
you're posing.
Why?
Everyone assumes that. First of all, I'm guilty of it. The things I have deepest convictions of, I was on the other side of the argument years ago.
Okay.
Right? Otherwise, I wouldn't argue. But I was a guy who would watch a golf match and say how easy it was.
Okay.
Tennis, that's not a real sport, right? In the same way, people assume in ignorance that when you see people posing on stage, that it's easy.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I've always told Evina, I've told when I train Arlette, when I train a lot of people over the years, yourself now, is that you're always on stage. Because as you're standing here now, the posing is a contraction. So right now you see her on a 1-3 count.
Yeah.
Right? It's difficult 15 times, but imagine for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Having to hold a position. And not just hold a position, but hold it so that you're disguising your weaknesses and exposing your strengths.
Yeah.
The mental engagement going on. While there's a lot of people in the stands criticizing you.
Yeah.
There's 3 judges looking up the back of you, right? So it's posing is no joke. Which is why I think it's great that Evina, for instance, does posing coaching.
Yeah.
Because not just that she does it, but it shows that there should be an emphasis on it. These are athletes.
Yeah.
Right? And assumed by most, I mean, every person I know that's not fit laughs at bodybuilding and figure and fitness. They don't understand. They have no clue. Now, I couldn't imagine the days when it was Flex Wheeler, when it was Arnold, when it was Sergio Olivier. I can't imagine guys that size, with that much girth. The pose downs. If you ever look at him on video.
Well, and I remember you telling me, like, you always make me stretch in between my workouts. I'm like, God, why?
Yeah.
And 30 seconds to a minute was minimum that I was allowed to stretch, and so I'm like, why? And then I realized my posing was way smoother than I ever had on stage, because I now can understand muscle contraction. I understand the feeling of it, especially being completely depleted after water and carbohydrates. Like, how do I do that?
Yeah, because you're standing on stage at your weakest point that you've been. There's no carbohydrates. And you're standing there trying to pull with carbohydrates, my endurance. That's my energy. Right? So the stretching, I've always taken in between set stretch. Well, the reason for that is that stretching is a form of communication from the brain. It's a contraction. So even though I'm not doing the actual weight, it's still being engaged for the entire hour. Now when I'm asked to do a chest pose for 30 seconds, bueno, right? So why I walk up to you and I pick you? Okay, so you have to understand. So again, my father, David Rice singing, by the way, hip hop. So my father, let me tell you a story about him. Okay. My father's a pastor, obviously. Everybody knows that. So he tells me a story one day that he was at a pastor's conference. I think it was Detroit or something, right? And he and a bunch of pastors are in this van, and there's these prostitutes.
Uh-oh.
Hey. See like it is. So these prostitutes standing on the corner. And my dad, at his purest heart, is a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. This is this man's blood. This is this is life.
Yeah.
So what is he thinking? They're in the van, they have time, and he gets out of the van and goes and approaches the prostitutes, right? And all of these friends of his are saying, man, don't get out the car, you know how you look? Like you're soliciting, right? But he doesn't care what they're thinking. Yeah. He cares that he saw, watch the word he uses, he saw a gap. He saw an opportunity. Okay. Right? So he walks up to the prostitute and he says, and the group like 3, I think, Dad, correct me if I'm wrong on the comment. He says there's 3 or 4 prostitutes standing there, and he approaches them and says, hey, do you guys want a date? Okay. And they're all happy to go, but guess what? They're thinking money, right? Yeah. So he says, Jesus Christ, man. Of course, 3 of them jet, the girl standing by herself. A long story short, he does what he does. Now, why am I telling you that? Dad always found that, I could hear a ton of stories about him, but what I saw in him is always finding an opportunity to pick somebody up. Yeah. Always, no matter how low they were, that was his whole life. How do I pick this person up? Yeah. Albert Hibb is another one. Dad sometimes write the story on the comment. But for me, when I saw you, when I heard about Evina, I met Arlette that way, and then she started talking about Evina, I started hearing gaps. Where can I fill in the person's life? Okay. Like, where can I? So when I saw you, I saw gaps.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And he wasn't trying to hide it either. Right? So that's what that's just what attracts me, is that something's missing. And like my whole, like, why I breathe is that I want to be there to be the person to, right? The feeling. So all that's talking about, oh yeah, I have this friend Evina, and she was this and another, and just like me, you know, she was a drug addict and the whole bit, and I'm thinking, and as I'm listening, a hunger started.
Yeah.
And so that's how we got together. Right? So it's no different. And to this day, I know what yours are now.
Yeah.
I didn't know then.
Yeah.
But to be, I think, great as an aide, as a counselor, a teacher, a doctor, a trainer, if you're not hungry to be, I'm using a word that doesn't exist, but that gap filler,
Yeah.
that satiation for that person spiritually, then, right, you should not be in a service-oriented position.
Yeah.
Back to our whole conversation about people who are trainers that should not be trainers.
Yeah.
It's not a job. You're changing somebody's life. You should be.
Yeah.
I mean, so hopefully that happens.
Yeah.
Right? Hopefully it goes down.
That's some deep stuff right there.
I know.
I'm motivated.
Let's go front, baby. Good job, B. Nano Receptor did not just tell you that you have pain.
Okay.
Nano Receptor reports that pain to your brain. And people say all the time, well, I have a high pain threshold. No, you really don't. That means is your body has learned to adjust to that pain from time before. Nano Receptor went and did its job at the area of injury and returned the information back to the brain. The brain stores that. So that's why you see elite athletes, they can do a lot more things than they appear to be able to do more than what the other person can, because not them, not their conscious, not their thinking, their body has grown used to that level of information dealing with pain. So it's a lot more aggressive in its actions. So when I send a command and my body go run 100 meters on a football field, my body can go without any fear what's going to happen to it because of the reports that we've made before. Make sense? So it's a perceived thing.
Oh, wow.
And it's totally away from the person's memory and content. It's the body that actually knows it.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting too is that from what you told me is, like, anytime I did iso holds, like bicep iso holds, I'm like, this is dumb, this hurts. Like, why even do this stuff? And then you make me do one of those outrageous stretches. And it's interesting because he made it a point to specify, like, look, if you want to not feel this anymore, you need to start stimulating that central nervous system on whole many different levels, so that, you know, your brain can send off these motor neurons and say, hey, this is what it feels like. Let's prepare the body for the next time, and then we'll get stronger. You know, that's why that first session that we had, we didn't go kill right off the bat. And the 60 pounds leg curls that we used to do, or 75 leg pounds, and you straight said, start off with what you're comfortable. Because my body forgot, right? Not forgot, but it just was like, oh, I haven't been introduced to this, so I'm minimizing the muscle fibers utilized, you know, so.
So strength goes well beyond musculature. Strength is neuromuscular. Strength is what your brain understands the body can do.
Okay.
So when nobody's talking about mental, spiritual, physical, when you separate those three things, you're limiting yourself completely.
Okay.
Completely. So when I'm looking at strength, it's not just what my body can do, it's what I'm willing, to put it through. And if I'm building the muscles in an intelligent fashion, what can it remember to do without me? That's a whole other conversation. It's how I survived so many injuries. I remember a specific story where, I mean, this is a true story, that my family can verify. I was threatened with an amputation.
Oh, wow.
One part of my right leg, because the ligament damage was so bad. It's called a post-surgical infection threatened amputation. I played 6 more years of football after that.
Wow.
Because the understanding of what my body understood before, what it can do. So when every therapist was saying, you can't, not me, my body was saying, you're joking.
Of course.
This is enough. And so when I would go, I remember being on a treadmill one day in physical therapy office, and I'm running on the treadmill. He came in and was really upset. Why are you running on a treadmill? You're going to injure yourself. So I've been running on a treadmill for 3 weeks. My body knew it could do it. My body convinced me. So that's a conversation, right? That's a conversation that you have. You control your body, but your body in so many ways. It can tell you in a positive way, not always negative. It can tell you, you can't do this. Yeah.